We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today is Jack Thursday. I'm going to talk about money management.
And I'm going to take a nap.
You know how I manage money? By buying in land and selling it.
You know how I manage money? By asking for your help. Just kidding.
What?
I don't know. Not really, buddy. You're the money. No, this is perfect because you're the money guy in our whole relationship. And if meaning our personal finances and, hey, we can do this or not do this. And I don't question you. Isn't that I hope you appreciate that. I'm sure you do.
Appreciate that. And I'm going to, I'll lay all the stuff out in a second here, and then we'll talk about our personal situation because it's worked. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't work for everybody. There's some stuff that Jill and I do that most people that are life partners like this wouldn't put up with. Number one, we don't have any joint money. We have company money. We have companies together.
That's true.
She and I do not share and never have and never will share
a checking account,
bank account. So I don't talk about ever. I never have how she spends money. It's her money. I don't care. And vice versa. And I think, look, here's a prelude to the whole thing, and we will take a question first. The number one way to succeed at managing money is to have a plan.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the money will manage you. And we've all have friends like this. Mm-hmm. Friends or maybe parents or siblings or cousins or people that are just always down in the dumps about money. And it's because they never had a plan.
It's true.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like.
Zach wrote, howdy, y'all. New member from Austin, Texas. My name is Zach K. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur, but totally new to land investing. This is great.
Excellent.
And fairly new to real estate investing in general. Welcome, Zach. This is cool.
Fit the profile perfectly. Already.
Yeah. Having built several companies, the latest of which is a line of educational toys sold through big box retail carrying Disney licensing. Wow. I'm experienced with building teams, setting up processes, outsourcing, et cetera, et cetera. The entire international supply chain has been wrecked these past years, to say the least.
Decimated is what I call it.
Yeah. And I felt it's time to get a new business started in an entirely different and more stable industry.
Amen.
Yeah.
We are so lucky we're in this business.
Uh-huh.
We talk about it on the Thursday call all the time.
Yep. Let's see here. I started land investing 2 months ago after hearing great things from a friend who got into the business last year. I sent out 50,000 mailers to start and closed 10 sweet deals for infill lots here in Texas. Purchased for $8,000 to $20,000 and sold between $30,000 and $90,000.
That's the textbook Land Academy deal.
Totally. By sending 50,000 letters right out of the gate, I was able to learn a ton fast. Some of my letters were spot on and others were atrociously mispriced. That happens.
Still happens to us.
Right. Choose only the sweetest deals and let the less perfect deals slide away. Now in the process of hiring a team to scale this son of a BI. I'd love to contribute to this community as I embark on this journey. Very entertaining business, by the way. This business is endlessly entertaining as it seems, from the hate calls to the zany sellers. Yep. And meet other land investors who are building at this business at scale. I love it.
This guy's got Disney licensed educational toys that are probably made in China. And we have Christmas season coming up.
Yeah.
And he can't get them.
Yeah. Yeah, shucks. Oh.
Jill, you know how many times Jill and I turn to each other every week and say, because there's something on the news or some whatever. And we're like, God, we're so lucky we're in this business.
Yeah.
You can work from home, It's just
anywhere.
Like one news event happens after another where we'll look at each other saying, well, at least we don't have that problem.
Right.
And supply chain's one of it.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I'm not waiting for someone to deliver my paper to get a deed out. I'm okay. I mean, that's the most thing that I would need is paper, and I can get that. That's about it.
Paper?
I know. I don't really need paper.
Like paper to do a deed?
Yeah. That's about it. And I'm waiting for that to go away. That needs to go away, by the way.
I agree.
You know, I was really, really gunning for when COVID hit. I'm like, yes, now we're going to have online recording, and yes, we're going to have online notaries.
That's what I thought, Joe.
I'm like, this is gonna condense it by a week at least. I was so excited, and then nope, it didn't happen. I'm like, oh.
Instead, there's more rules.
I know, but that's okay.
To save us from ourselves.
We'll
talk about that later. Today is Jack Thursday. It's called Money Management. This is why you're listening. If you listen to this show or anything in this business development genre of podcasts, you're interested in money. You're interested probably in getting out some version of the situation that you're in and making it better. And so that involves money management. And I think there's a lot of people that misunderstand that money management is really what it's all about. And if you're lucky, you can find a partnership where there's some bunch of talent like Jill has with a hardcore money management and discipline involved.
Which you're great at.
You have to have a plan. Number one. Number two, you can never, under any circumstance, live above your means.
I was just going to write that down.
You can't. And so yesterday was about affordable housing. The very definition of that is living above your means.
Why do people do that? I
don't know. Probably because they're not numbers people. I see this the most with certain personality types. Like, I mean, there are people I come from the medical profession as an owner, as a business owner. And so there are all different types of personalities in the business. And in that business, there are tons of people like me who are the money type people and the managers and things like that. But I've never really met a clinician who continued to be a clinician for the rest of their lives and was also a money person. Because when you really start to apply logic, even as like a surgeon, if you're a money person, you're looking at this every day saying, I can make so much more money doing something else. I just have to apply these few rules. So you're either a money person or you're not, or a numbers person, I should say. If you're not, you have two choices. You have to manage your money, all right? If you're not a numbers person, you have two choices. Learn to be one, which is tough, because in my opinion, you're probably either set up with this by the time you're done with grade school or you're not. Or number two, get somebody in your life who is, which is what Jill did. Because I don't know how not to manage money. If I go in the grocery store, all I do is look at the price per ounce of every single thing I'm buying. That's just how I do it. I don't think Jill does that.
I do the big picture. No, but I know if there's more going out than there is coming in. And you can't have more going out than there is coming in. It always makes me think of the story of my parents. My mom would always pay the bills. I kind of learned, you pay the bills at the beginning of the month. You have your money. You pay everything, and then you live on what's left over, right? And if you don't have that, as you might be doing, I did this with the kids when they were little. It might be Subway sandwiches and a picnic in the park, and that's our fun for this weekend.
And that's the fourth week of the month or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
love it. They think it's the greatest thing. They don't know kind of what we could afford. That's fine.
Absolutely.
But my dad's way of paying bills were, let's just have some fun. And, let's go to Disneyland and let's buy this new stereo or let's do whatever. And then at the end of the month, try to scrape together and pay bills, which there wasn't enough left over. That was when we were really little. But so I understand that. And then, and then what are some quick ways to change it? You could take on more, take on more hours, take on another part-time job. I don't know. There's things you can do to get yourself ahead. As you're digging out.
Here's the stages, in my opinion. There's a few stages of money management / wealth. Number one, you need to make more than you spend, which is a lot harder. I remember this the exact day I was staring at an ATM and I realized I actually make more money than I'm spending, which was not the case all through college. And it took me a couple of years after college to really figure this out. And there was no podcast like this, or if there was, I didn't know about it. So I'm finally now making more money than I spend. Number two, the second stage of wealth for me is I'm actually starting to save some money. Maybe I save, back then it was like $400 or $500 a month or $1,000 a month. And so I can watch my savings account go up. I think this is a critical time. And you set the stage for how you're going to live the rest of your money life. Because if you start to spend more money because you're making more money, you're never going to get out of that stage.
That's the problem right there. That's what I see people do right away. Like, great, now I can afford X. And they keep themselves right at that same spot. Like, that's not.
So at the end of that stage, if you're doing it correctly and really, it takes a lot of management and a lot of discipline.
Discipline.
You're now, you should be saving as much as you're spending. So if it costs you $2,500 a month to live, you should be putting $2,500 away in the bank. And so that is the tail end of that stage. Then the third stage is what I call getting ahead. Now it's like, okay, I probably live in borderline squalor with 2 other idiots. But I'm seriously saving some money. How does that happen? You either change jobs. Having a W-2 job is the very definition of a single point of failure. And so you can either change jobs and give yourself a raise that way, or you can side hustle it and start buying, like, for example, buy and sell land. I don't know. I don't care if you go to a casino, but try something. I mean it. Don't just sit there.
I don't know about the casino.
I think that was the end of stage 2, right?
Okay.
Stage 3 is you're out of debt. This is huge. Vast majority of people never get to this point. But you need to have a plan because you're saving money now to somehow get out of debt. And you should be putting more money away to buy a house if that's what you want to do. Buying a house, depending on where you live in the country, gets a lot more praise than I really think it deserves. And I think that the further we get along in the cycle of America, the harder it is to just make tons and tons of money on a house. Unless you live in Southern California or certain places that just seem to never go down in value. So we've been lucky about that. So great. Now you're out of debt. I think it's stage 3.
I think we're on 4. Like we were 3 and then this is 4. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter either. The final stage is if you're out of debt, now you start to accumulate wealth.
Yeah.
And the sky's the limit there. If you've crossed the border, crossed into you're debt free, you have the skills or you've associated somebody in your life with those skills to you can get it as big as you want. And Jill and I are at an age now where we talk about this a lot. It's like, how much is enough? Do we need to keep doing this? Should we release House Academy? I'm not sure it's worth it. I mean, yeah, we're helping people. What are we going to do if we don't do it? Should we release Career Path? Should we, buy a mobile home park?
Right.
On and on and on. So, but if you can get to the point where you have no debt, and I mean eventually no mortgage debt, where you're all free and clear on that, you're all set. But it all starts with that first and second step of live below your means and start saving some money, not spending more.
That's perfect. That's the hardest part, I think.
That was never hard for me.
Yeah, it was hard for me.
I don't have such a high opinion of myself that I need like a new car.
I
just never have.
When I was like early 20s, like when it was just me on my own, like I would save up some money, spend it down, save it up, do something cool, spend it down. That's what I would do.
Well, how'd you get out of that? Because you're here sitting next to me. And don't tell me it was me.
Oh gosh, no.
It happened way before me.
No, it was not you. No, it was me saying this is stupid and you're never going to get ahead. And I had to suck it up. I had to force myself. And I had to learn to hold it back and watch it grow. And it was very hard for me. Number 2 child is just like me. Like, when he's a little kid, I gave him 50 cents. He's looking for a machine to put it in. To get some little toy at the grocery store. Remember those little things at the grocery store? You twist it and I'm like, dude.
God, number 1's exact opposite of that.
Yeah, and then exactly.
She has more money in savings than we do.
I bet. She's great now at that. But at my age, the same age I was at her age, she's so far ahead of me. That's for sure. I did not have that self control. So it was hard. It was very hard to overcome it, but I did. You have to really take a step back and think about what's important. You have to not care what other people think because it's very easy to get caught up in, when I tell people I can't go or I'm not going to go because it's expensive and I don't want to spend the money and I'm saving my money for X. That's a hard lesson to learn. I remember a really good friend that would only go out with us. We were in our 20s, once a week. It was a guy friend. His name was Greg. And he was saving up for a car. And I thought, what a loser. I did. He would go out once a week with us and only spend X amount of dollars. And that was it. And guess what? After 2 years, he bought himself the brand new, it was a VW Golf or something like that he wanted. And I'm like, wow, he did it. Oh, so that's what that looks like. And that's all he had to do. I'm like, well, all right, that was actually where he learned that. I don't know. But I'm like, all right, I see it. But you have to, it's a lot of self-discipline and not listening to anybody else and doing what you know is right.
I'll leave it on this. It's all in your head. This, there are people who cry poor. The people who have great jobs always cry poor.
We don't do that.
You have complete control. I mean, a W-2 job.
Oh, okay.
You have complete control over this.
Yeah.
The money doesn't need to manage you. There's always ways to make more money. Always.
Yeah.
It's just all about time management and micromanaging stuff and getting yourself into the right crowd. I have, this is my final point. My life is packed, and with Jill too, full of people who are in a much worse situation today, people at my age, than it was, let's say, 8 or 10 years ago. That they were in sales, some kind of corporate sales or something like that. The market kind of shifted because computers kicked in and you can buy stuff on the internet now. They don't
Nothing to do with COVID.
Sales posts. Yeah.
Nothing to do with anything like that.
They just never recovered.
Right.
They never took a computer class or never got started another career or never started, let's say, buying sound land or, and so there's a ton of people that are now being controlled by factors that they have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Forget COVID. It has nothing to do. I'm not talking about COVID. In fact,
right. It was before
the vast majority of people that I know, COVID has had a positive financial result in their life, not a negative one. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about computers passing by.
Right.
And so you can't, when there's a shift change in an environment, I don't care if it's COVID or recession, but recessions and viruses now are here to stay. And that computer technology is hockey sticking up, literally exponentially, the technology and everything that we do. If you don't embrace that, it's going to leave you behind. You have to manage it, and it all equals dollars and cents at the end.
Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? Check out offers and the number 2owners.com. So it's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Thank God tomorrow is Jill Friday.
Thank you.
And she's going to talk about how you know you're good at something. How you know you're good at something. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Like reading a script.
Well, yeah, like reading.
This is our first example right now. Very good. That's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable, and we really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, don't forget, check out our YouTube channel and please hit the subscribe button. We're Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.